Hey everybody, welcome. I didn't get to go to Paducah. I had to pay the server fees, and that kind of shot my wad for this month. I was about 700 away, and I had to come up with that. So I didn't have the funds to go to Paducah, so I'm going to spend another night sanding. Bad for me, good for you. Um, let's see. What I've done here is I was going to try to do this airplane without using DC 540. But I have become so used to using DC 540 and it makes the job so nice, and it really doesn't. I think all this primer I put on has cost a half an ounce. And you say that's a lot, but I guess. So I decided I'd go ahead and use the DC 540 anyway, and I'm glad I did because it really pulled up some of the major mistakes in the shaping that I made. So what I'm doing now is I'm just basically going over the bad spots. Now I'm not going to do, it'll be very minimal DC 540 on the leading edge and none in the center here. So I just about got all the primer on it we're going to put on it. I also got some of the acro green, a new tube, and some razor blades. So I'll be going around tonight and dotting up all the little pinholes and boogers and stuff in it. But you definitely want to stay away from the acro green. That stuff is really heavy. I don't know whether you have watched the other two movies I put up yesterday. For some reason, my stream really gave me a fit. It didn't. I did a wingtip weight box, which none of it stuck. Then I did another stream, shut it off, and I was going to go, like I said, I was going to go to Kentucky, and I started getting my Continental ready, but just didn't have the funds to go. This will be the first time I missed that contest in many years, but hey, I just had to pay the forum bill this month, and I told you guys that I had to. And so I paid that instead of going to Kentucky. Anyway, I'll spend probably 20 hours sanding and getting all the buggers out of this. I'll turn it over and show you. I had to dig out one of the fillets for some reason, and it was super filled. For some reason, it kept lifting. So instead of battling it, I just went ahead and dug it out. sanded it right down. It can't lift it if it ain't there. So I'm sanding with 400 now. And once I get it pretty well blocked in, I will, I'll sand with 600. Let's see what it weighs. See how much it's picked up. Now the hardware is 20 ounces. So whatever this weighs, you add 20 ounces, and that's the weight of the airplane. I really hate this. You really can't get an accurate read on what it is. This airplane is 53 ounces now. So I only got, unless I sand all this back off, which maybe I will, I only got a few ounces that I can go to meet my goal of 56. It's only got 3 ounces, so we're not going to make it. Not unless the paint goes on really slick. It's hard to believe how much paint weighs. We got anybody in the room? No. Probably going to be a slow night. It's a Saturday night or Friday night. Everybody I know is on their way to the contest or whatever. Well, I want to give a few tips on what I look for. I noticed on the elevator stabilizer, let me see if we can turn this. And you're really not going to be able to see, so I'll have to describe it. This turn right here, in order to make it professional looking, I use a polywog with a radius on it. Now you wouldn't think, well, that don't mean no big deal. That's no difference. Well, it really does. It really adds to the look of the model when all the radiuses are smooth. Smooth is good, but they're all uniform. So we'll put this in here. This is 600 here. We don't want to, I'm not grinding any material away. I'm just sanding the primer. So this is about 1.5 cans of primer on here. That's about all the primer it's going to get. The amount of primer you put on is dependent on how good you did your job before you started priming. So if you're using 6 cans of primer, you got an airplane that's pretty rough and really wasn't ready to go. But this airplane had about got about 8 coats of clear on it, plus a coat of white. And I put a coat of white under the fuselage or under this gray, and that's what made me decide that, hey, we got a problem. We're gonna have to use some DC 540, because even though, you know, I sanded it real good, and the white, it just, I don't know. I can hardly explain it. It's it doesn't look the same unless I do it with this primer. So we want to sand it all off, or get it most of it off to lose some of the weight. Of course, tomorrow it'll weigh less too. This is the Zen of sanding. It's, I got 4 airplanes I got to finish painting from my first batch. And after I get me 1 airplane done this year, I have not built myself one airplane built and finished it. Started a few, but never finished them. I'm going to get this one finished up for this year. This is my next year's Nats airplane, should it fly good. If it doesn't, well, I have to fly the Monado. But this should fly good. I can keep it light. So when you're sanding this DC 540, you want to put 1 coat on it and sand it all off. And when it's done, when you're done sanding, you can hear it change tone. I wish it'll stop scratching is what it sounds like. And that's when it's smooth enough. And it also, with 600, starts to pick up a polish. It kind of shines. So what you're just trying to do is fill the pores of the paper. This is really cheating, but I don't care. I don't care. I thought up a few neat things for videos that as soon as I get caught up, I'm going to do. I told you about the news setup, and I might do one next week. I have to clean all this mess up and put up my green screen, and going to make some entertainment control line videos. Commentary. Some guys at YouTube Model Builders kind of gave me that idea, and we'll give her a whirl next week as soon as I get this sanded out. I'm hoping that I can get this painted tomorrow. Get Get the white on the back and the orange on the wings anyway tomorrow. Paul Taylor uploaded some old Windy videos, and I watched it. And believe it or not, I like the old ones better than I like his new ones. He Windy definitely is a craftsman. This step here is basically like the step you see when they paint silver on them airplanes. But silver is the paint doesn't stick worth a darn. So I use this primer. I asked the gal at the shop today, are they gonna? I bought another case of DC 540. That'll be the sixth case this year. I asked the gal there if they were going to discontinue it. She said, no, why? I go, because they always do when something works. When a guy called me the other day about Wix Aircraft dope. If you guys are going to order from Wix Aircraft, make sure that you ask for Eric and tell him that you're a stun hanger user. Will they give you a discount? Maybe. But it lets him know that the model airplane guys are buying the dope. I just got 3 gallons the other day of 2 gallons of dope in a gallon thinner. I need to order some white. So, the Zen is sanding, we're sanding it all back off. The bad thing is, you sand and sand and sand, and you put it back on the scale, you'll notice no movement. But it has to do something. It's coming off there, so let's wipe it down. Still nobody watching. I guess everybody's out partying. Of course, I guess I could announce it on the forum. Let me do that. So, we got somebody just came in. So we'll go here. Open forum. Come on. Moves kind of slow at the bench. So we'll. New topic. Sanding. we're sanding in there. Okay. New topic. Oh shit. So if you're watching the forum, I see two are watching. Go ahead and type something in and let me know what you'd like to see. You can use the chat box. You have to watch the YouTube video on Stunhanger in order to type at me. Now there's 3 in here. So if you're watching it on the forum, I can't see the questions that you ask. So you got to be watching it on YouTube. Let me give the rendition of what's happened for the new guys that just joining. I said I wasn't going to use DC 540, but after painting the white on and seeing that it was a whole lot easier just to go ahead and use it, I went and got some. And spraying it on. And we're going to sand it all off again. And I'll be going around with the acro green. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the acro green spot putty I use. It's part number 05096. This tube is very heavy. It's probably a pound. It's 15 ounces. So pretty close to a pound. If you put that on your airplane, if you smooth that shit all over your airplane, that's how much it's going to add, 1 pound. So use very little of it. Not only that, it tends to, if you use it in the fillet areas, you can guarantee that there's going to be a fillet lift right where you use it. So this is about the most boring operation that can be done on an airplane, is this sanding business. But it is the most rewarding when you're finished. I've got to get this thing to come out at mid-50s, so I got to sand it all off. By mid-50s, I mean low 50s. I don't want high 50s. I forgot all about watching the Wendy videos that Paul had uploaded. I forgot all about Walt Bray. Guy's a good sign painter. Too bad he's gone. You know, I have one of those Byron Barker paint stands, but it takes up so much room to do it that way. and I just don't use it. Probably can't hear it, but you can hear it really cutting back here. That means it's not smooth. Where you can hear it cutting, it's not smooth. Need to sand this all off, and hopefully it'll go back down a half an ounce. And we can put the color on it. I think, like I said, I think I can do the color tomorrow. Get it all in color and start working on some other projects. That's if I stay up tonight and sand. But I'm not going to Kentucky, so oh, my mechanic days have come back bleeding all over the place. Didn't even feel it. So if it bleeds anymore, I'll put a little CA on it. Yes, I have used Monocoat. I don't care for it. It's very light, but it doesn't look right to me. I've been building these models like this for over 50 years, and this is just how I've always done it. I guess a creature of habit. When Alan Brickhouse was a school teacher down in Golconda, and I used to go down and fly with him once in a while, I did a few monocoated airplanes. Because Alan liked monocoat. He had some kind of finishing system of monocoat and Rust-Oleum. Not my thing, but worked for him. So some guys are just allergic to the dope. I tell you what, this primer, the reason why it works so good is I know there's some heavy duty chemicals in it because my hands tingle every time that I use it. I bet there's xylene in it. I haven't pulled up an MSDS on it, but we'll look on the can here. Warning, if you scrape, scan, or remove paint, release lead dust. Oh, this is lead. There's lead in it. Yeah, lead is toxic. Prepare dirt, blah, blah, blah. Yep, I knew it. It says contains ketones, toluene, and xylene. I can feel it in my hands. But I've been using this since I found this primer 15 years ago. This is all I've ever used. I turned you guys on to this DC 540, I don't know, probably 2 years ago, maybe 3. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. It's there are no secrets. On that one video, I don't know whether it's one of the ones I was posting or whatever. I was babbling 47 years ago. I wasn't doing it like this 47 years ago. I was using dope with baby powder in it. And I really like the smell of Aerogloss with baby powder mixed in. I have some of Randy's zinc stearate, but it doesn't work as good, I don't think. Randy will be getting mad at me for saying that, but just that's a personal preference. I just got used to this stuff here. So I figured thing is that I'm not going to Kentucky. Because they shot my wad on the server. Might as well do a video. We're getting close. This stage of the game, it is how good you want your airplane to turn out. As Randy Powell says, paint job is never finished, it's only abandoned. That couldn't be more true. Because even when I get this thing done, where I think it's done, it ain't. You could go back over it again and pick another 10 spots out. So it's basically, I got to get it close enough that I could, in good conscience, abandon the effort in sanding and go ahead and shoot it. And if I stay up late tonight, which I probably will, I won't run this video for that many hours, but because I don't think I can talk nonstop for 20 hours. I should be close. Oh, for those who wanted to see what the finished hinges look like, that's what the finished hinge look like after, it looks like I lost the stream. Oh, stream's back, okay. What's going on here? No, Dane, I'm not an iron like iron. I guess I'm losing the stream. Yeah. Testing. Okay, I don't know. The stream's going in and out. It looks like we're back online, but I don't know how long for. One more time. That's what a finished hinge looks like. And if it would ever come up on screen, I could see if you could see it or not. Yep, there it is. So basically, it's just set back in there half the distance. And then you just finish that wood in there, and when I put it back on it, So I finished the whole airplane, and after the airplane is finished and rubbed out, I glue the hinges or the flaps on. It makes for a nice clean job. Apologize for the stream going in and out. I don't know what the deal is on that. Let's see if we lost any weight. I bet not. It's all sanded off. I still need to fiberglass the wheel doors. And the reason I'm going to fiberglass those is they take a lot of abuse. I could just silk span them, but I feel more comfortable with fiberglass. Like the nose of this airplane is fiberglass. The cowl is fiberglass. Yeah, we're down to the 52-ounce mark again. I'd like to get it back down to the 50-ounce mark, but you couldn't sand enough stuff off of the thing to get it to the 50-ounce mark. Now, this is always where the problems lie, right here in the fillets at the leading and trailing edges. I don't know why. So I just take the polywog and instead of using I use the tail end of it. I'll just blend it in. But these little attention to detail on spots like this make a big difference when the model's sitting on the flight line, to me anyway. So let's take the cowl off. I'll show you how that's set up. Here we go. We're up to this nonsense again. I don't know what's up with my internet connection tonight. It's dropping in and out. Stupid thing. Where the heck is it? That's a drill. I need an Allen wrench. There we go. Use one of these. I showed how that cowl was made on the forum. This cowl has been glassed and now primed. And if you remember, it started out super heavy, and I wanted to get it down to a quarter ounce before glassing and carving. Let's see what it weighs now. Three-quarters of an ounce. You can see that on the 0.75. Now you can't see it. So that's not bad. Here lately, I've been painting the inside of the cowl. Is it necessary? I don't know. But I'm gonna paint the inside of this one too. Doesn't have to be as good a finish as the outside. It'd be nice if it was, but you really can't get in on it to sand it as good. So we'll just put some primer on it, sand it, and when I shoot it orange, it'll get painted orange. Now, if you're going to use Z-epoxy and fiberglass, make sure you do prime, because yeah, you can get by with the dope, but it has a possibility of lifting off. Now this will get painted. It'll also get urethaned. So it was 0.75 before I added the primer. Let's see what we're up to now. And it hasn't dried. 0.8. So it does add some, but it will gas off a little bit here in a minute or so. It will go down. Any questions? Let's see here. I didn't hear. Yes. Yeah, I believe it, Dane. You gotta prime the paint. Let me pull this down here and bring this up here. Let me get the chat up at the top. Yeah, you can also use Stix-It or some kind of crap like that. I can't remember. Balsa-Rite or this is the end of the second can. And when this is gone, it's gone. I mean, I got more on the shelf, but we're not going to make this a wall banger, a hanger queen. So it'll look like what it looks like. I can't do it in 2 cans. We're done. That looks pretty good. This is like the third coat of primer after sanding it out. I got all the high spots out. The inside doesn't look like that, but heck, we can't see the inside. Looks pretty good in the video. In just a few minutes, I'll be ready to sand again. I'll go ahead and screw it back on. I have a couple spots here that I'm going to have to mix up some superfill. The reason being, they're bigger than a pinhead. I'd say they're about a 1/16 of an inch around. It's right on the cowl line. It's about that big around. Right on the cowl line. And I could use that aqua green, but then you take a chance of it. It's aqua green is so soft that you take a chance of it coming up. Let's see here. Dane, have you made any new building videos? Have you done any live streaming, or I haven't seen you in a while? The Zen of Standing. If you're going to build a good model airplane, you better like sanding a lot. So the way this sets right now, it's 32 ounces. And I gotta make it as light as possible. This finish. Keep sanding. Any questions, just ask in the box. We've got 5 guys watching now. If I do a Google Hangout on Google Plus, I guess there's some kind of way we could all get webcams going together back and forth. I have to talk to those YouTube model builder guys. If you'll notice, if you remember, I've said you want to sand until it just gets translucent, and it's just like that. And that's when you stop. The orange will cover this pretty well. I know red covers well. The white's a little different. It's odd. It doesn't have much pigment in it, I guess. Keep sanding. So I've said on the preparing of this paint job, how I prepare them. 3 coats of dope, 50-50 on the bare wood. Put the tissue on, 3 more coats of dope, 50-50. I did use some sanding sealer on this stuff here that I found that I had. It was all right. I probably won't do it again for the simple fact you can't beat DC 540. That's why I went back to it. And then I fill it with DC 540. We shoot paint on it. You use no more than a pint of color. If you use more than a pint, on a base, you end up with about a quart of paint on it, I guess. And the dope has become so expensive. I wish it was a cheaper way that I knew how to do. I'm using the light here to candle it too. I got a low spot right here. We're going to have to take a sanding block, and I'll have to sand and prime and sand and prime to try to raise this up a little bit. It's kind of dark right there. It's dark there because it's low. But this part right here turned out real nice. That's what I look for when I'm looking at your model at appearance judging. Fits. How does the door fit? How does the cowl fit? How did you sand these areas here? How did these cap strips fit? Do they butt up flush? Can they, how's your covering? Is there any wrinkles in the covering anywhere? These are just the things that I look for when I'm judging the appearance of a model. And I'm no expert appearance judge. I only judged at the Nats one time. We got a plane from Gordon. We didn't get a video. I see. I'm building a PF for Fred in Texas. I'll get wing videos on that. Okay. So once again, let's go over what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these spots right here. Are they perfect? And remember, if you can feel it, it ain't perfect. Your eyes, your fingers are so much better than your eyes, you can't believe it. Yeah, I can't see nothing there, but I feel it. It's gone now. So I'm looking right here. I'm looking at the cowl line. When I'm looking at your model sitting on the tarmac, how does this line match up? On the doors, I'm looking at around the edge, how even is the spacing? How do these cap strips fit? How's your hinge gap? How's the gaps on your flaps? It sound, it really sounds like I'm anal or whatever, but if you're going to build a good model, you do all these little things, and all those little things at the end add up to a nice model. If you just forget them and just go on, you haven't really accomplished anything. My goal is to build a better model each and every time I build one. Just a little bit better. What did I mess up on the last one? What did I learn? What can I do to make the next one better? We got some buggers here. This is where I dug out the fillet. I don't know how that happened. But before it got out of hand, usually you don't find that fillet problem in primer. You have to go all the way to the paint job. But if you got a fillet problem in primer, it would be exacerbated by the dope, because dope doesn't stop shrinking. And I think the thinner in the dope, well, I don't know, xylene's a pretty hot thinner. I know when I sand these airplanes and I get this primer on my hands, at the end of the night, my hands are tingling. I know it's probably, somebody said wear gloves. No, I can't wear gloves. Your hands sweat. Them stupid gloves. Somebody said, well, you got to wear a mask. You got to wear gloves. It'll kill you. If I ain't dead by now, it's a little late. Like my dad, he's 94, I guess. And doctor goes in to the doctor, and doctor says, you drinking beer? Yep. How many a day do you have? About a 6-pack. My dad says, should I quit? Doc says, nope, keep doing what you're doing. Actuaries say you should be dead anyway. A little late now. He had a stroke. His eyesight's going bad. Had his cataracts removed. They took his driver's license away from him. I said, well, just, he only drives to the post office or whatever. Just drive anyway. What are they going to do? Give you a ticket? So what? If they give you a ticket, they're going to put you in jail? How long can that be for? They put you in jail for life. I don't know what he's going to do. No sense of humor. I got an email from Nikki. Nikki is the editor of Control Line World. I was going to take over Control Line World. That is not going to happen now. Nikki is not going to be able to do it. I also found out how many paid subscribers there were. So there's not going to be an online Control Line World magazine. we're just going to have to come to the conclusion we have what we have and should be thankful we have that. I'm hoping that next year it straightens out and it can actually pay for itself. Cause I don't think I can do what I did again next year. So make sure you like, subscribe, share. If you can donate to the forum, please do so. Help me catch up that $700 I had to spend. I don't know what I'm going to have to sell to get out from underneath that deal. Might have to sell my camera. Gotta do what we gotta do, though. I forgot all about that. Wow. That'll be a shocker when I get that to do. So, as I've stated, we've been sanding now. I can't see how long. I'll have to look. We're going down. I'll have to figure out a better way to measure that. Anyway, I've been blabbing now approximately an hour. Yep, hour and 4 minutes. That's about all I can do at a setting. Hard to try sometime to talk for an hour straight with nothing to talk about and no one to talk to you. With no script. Me and Donald Trump should be on the same page. I don't have a teleprompter and I talk for an hour straight without saying anything. So, till I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. Take care. See ya.